This is the cable car that goes up to Victoria Peak, the highest point in Hong Kong Island. The height of the peak is about 552 meters. The cable car will take you up to the top in 8 minutes, but only if you have the patience to wait a couple of hours in line with the other tourists who dream on going too. We decided to go on foot in order to anticipate that awesome moment when the city's skyscrapers rise at first glance from its highest point. Hong Kong is truly a city of contrasts, which is true for all megalopolises, but Hong Kong takes this literally. The city has to grow up in height because the ground space is limited. The pressure of the overpopulated space seems to pull the city upward. Double-decker buses and trams in Hong Kong are the most affordable and romantic way to get around the island. A tram line was built and launched in 1904. Today, after more than 100 years, it is one of the oldest public transports here. We rode along one of the streets on this tram. This is a look from inside. Hong Kong Island and Kowloon Peninsula separates the Bay of Victoria. It can be crossed on the subway or on the Star Ferry. When we walked to the ferry, we met a street musician who performed a nice composition for us. It was unusual to hear here, in a place so far from home, such a familiar melody as Midnight in Moscow. On Sundays, Hong Kong experiences an invasion of Filipinos, which has already become an important tourist attraction in the city itself. In the morning, these hundreds of thousands of girls fill the entire city center of the island, which becomes similar to Manila. All traffic stops in the middle of the street become pedestrian, and right on the roadway and another on pedestrian bridges that connect the skyscrapers of offices and hotels. And even in shopping centers, these girls sit in small companies. They build their own tiny tents made of cardboard and spend the whole day here. Hong Kong's market is a remarkable sight in itself. Along the small side streets dine local families, while the center streets and avenues are filled with tourists and merchants. Bustling, loud, filled with a variety of fragrances, the market will remain in your memory for a long time. Hong Kong markets are among the best in terms of shopping and supplying a variety of food and beverages. Transferred to Chinese rule in 1997, the British colony of Hong Kong has not changed its former principles in the English way of life, and the Chinese name of Hong Kong, Jiangung, did not take on root in everyday use. As the Little Dragon, as it is called in Asia, Hong Kong is known for the abundance of the most beautiful skyscrapers in the world, the flashing neon characters on the countless signs, a steady stream of cars, which is unthinkable, crowded on a tiny piece of land. A steady stream of cars, which is unthinkable, crowded on such a tiny piece of land. Hong Kong embraces newly arrived tourists and transforms into many sorts of things. Neon lights, stunning parks, scenic harbors, luxury hotels, and excellent shopping. The race course is clamped around by skyscrapers on all sides and by residential buildings, and is an incredible sight at evening races when a lot of players flock here and just onlookers too, and it seems that the atmosphere is electrified by the crowd, frozen in intense anticipation. On Wednesday night at Happy Valley, huge amounts of money are being poured out, guessing from the rates that Hong Kong people are putting on their favorite horses. Because, of course, horse racing is the most favorite pastime in Hong Kong. Happy Valley became a racehorse more than 150 years ago, in 1846. Originally, it was a desolate, marshy outskirts where only bamboo grew. The racecourse was built, but Hong Kong gradually grew around it, and the racetrack came to be encompassed by the city. However, as Hong Kong people love to gamble, they did not remove the racetrack, and it fits quite organically into the landscape of the city. When night comes, life in Hong Kong continues to boil. The bars are never closed, and people have fun just as actively as they work. The most popular and interesting places are located in the heart of the city. Here the clubs are very popular and easy to get into. Hong Kong ranks first in the number of nightclubs and bars out of all the major cities in China. Very modern, technically fast, tall, tight, an organized metropolis that never sleeps. Here you lose a sense of personal space, time speeds up, and the flow of events rushes you along, not giving you time to perceive what's happening in its entirety. We were lucky to arrive in Hong Kong at the best time to visit, in November. We went in shorts and t-shirts when in St. Petersburg snow was already blanketing the streets.